You know, oil and water do not mix. We all know that. So I'm trying to understand why so many people feel that running a pipeline flowing with hundreds of thousands of barrels of heavy crude oil over top the largest freshwater aquifer in the United States is a good idea. Temporary jobs, saving us from foreign oil. Psst, Canada's a foreign country. I'm talking about the Keystone pipeline, the XL Keystone pipeline, Canada's hope to get their crude oil from the tar sands in Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. We'll talk about that later. But we're told that there's not much to worry about in the environmental issue with the Keystone pipeline. And after my initial concerns talking about the pipeline going over the aquifers, I was lulled into I hadn't heard any real pipeline explosions or breaks. I'd heard about the Gulf of Mexico and the tankers crashing, but not too many on pipes. And then the Exxon Pegasus pipeline bursts in Arkansas. And as of the first day, they had collected 12,000 barrels of oil and water. And it was oil throughout the suburbs. Now, we don't know the environmental impact yet. Where it is, it may not be that bad. They may be able to save it and keep it up. But imagine my surprise when I read that the same pipeline a year before burst with spilling oil. Now I know that the Pegasus line is an older line, and there's concern about a lot of the older pipelines across the country. But the idea that a pipeline can burst and spill oil is a common one, is a simple one. And the idea that you're going to run that across the source for fresh water for hundreds of thousands of American citizens seems dumb. Now, maybe there's a way that they can protect the line. Maybe they're going to have like a big giant trough underneath the pipeline. So if it bursts, it spills into the trough. What do I know? I will say this, that we don't want, on a serious side, we don't want to say, oh, one incident can change the world, if a one pipeline bursts, then all of them are going to burst and we need to never have a pipeline anywhere. No, I don't agree with that. But when we're making a decision about allowing a pipeline to go from, not Canada, because we already have it coming into Nebraska, but from there to the Gulf, we ought to look at all the facts. And the fact that the pipeline can burst over fresh water is a concern. But, the thing is, this pipeline, the jobs are temporary. Once the pipeline's built, they're not going to be those jobs anymore. Now, like I said with the president's stimulus package, when people poo-pooed the idea that there were jobs there and they were only temporary jobs, many of those people who worked on for the companies that restored buildings or bridges or roads went on to have jobs with those companies or other private companies. So those temporary jobs, some of them became permanent. So the pipeline could bring some permanent jobs. The idea that it's going to take our dependency off foreign oil is kind of ludicrous because Canada is a foreign country. But to me, the bottom line is nobody seems to be paying attention to a fundamental thing here. TransCanada is a private company that has oil reserves in Canada. Their bottom line is not let's help America get off foreign oil. Their bottom line is let's get workers for America. Their bottom line is let's sell oil. Now, we know about the refineries in the Gulf. And ostensibly the idea is we want to pipe this oil to those refineries so they can get the oil processed. And then America will do great. But you know what else is in the Gulf of Mexico? Tankers that go to other countries. TransCanada's bottom line is they want to make money. And the market in China and India is willing to pay more than you and I are in this country. And if you remember when President Obama first said, wait a minute, you're not going to push me into this until I find out what I want to find out about it, the threat was, if President Obama doesn't approve this, TransCanada will just build their pipeline across Canada out to the Pacific Ocean and ship their oil to China. Ship their oil to China. That's the bottom line, folks. This XL Keystone pipeline is about TransCanada finding a way to get their oil sold. They could sell it to us, they don't mind. But they're not in this to create jobs for America or to provide oil for America. They're in this to make money. So when we're thinking about whether we want to risk the possibility of contaminating the largest water source, freshwater source for the United States of America, we need to weigh all these factors. I'm not against the pipeline overall. I mean, I have problems with it. And my thought would be, rather than spending the money to build the pipeline, if this is about American jobs and American oil, getting the oil, which we're already getting some because it comes to Oklahoma, then maybe we should be talking about, can we do refineries in Oklahoma where there already is and make the oil there? I don't think that the Keystone Pipeline is the solution to our energy problems or our economic problems. I don't think those temporary jobs and that small amount of jobs is going to change the economic direction of our country. And I surely don't think that oil is going to solve our economic or energy problems. Look, there's more oil coming and natural gas coming from the Dakotas, our own country, and they need pipelines. They're concerned about the delivery of the oil. I had a representative tell me, well, our companies can use that pipeline. Really? It's heavy crude oil that's coming down that pipeline if it gets built from Canada, and it's light, sweet crude, I believe, from our country. They're not going to mix in the same line. So while we talk about the benefits of the Keystone Pipeline, let's talk about it honestly and see whether we want to risk oil and water not mixing. All right, you can listen to us on canigetawordin.com, podcasts, posts, YouTube videos like this. You can go to iTunes and subscribe to Another Voice with Jason and Eric. Go to Facebook at Another Voice with Eric and Friends. All the ways you can get a hold of us. I want to remind you about Rides for Strides, April 27th, 10 to 3 p.m. Very shortly, in the next couple of days, we'll have the team information for Another Voice, and you can join our team or you can donate to for one of us guys riding. We want to get a big team, so we'd like you to join. But if all you want to do is donate to a fantastic cause, go to stridestutoring.org. All right, until next time we talk, do something to be involved in your community and make it better. Have a great night.